Well, greetings, thanks for joining us. That's broadcast. All right, this is yeah. So this goes. Arcturian Earth prediction. Actually, I probably should not use the word Earth, but it looked good when I wrote it up. Spirit quarterback. Basically, do another being from Spirit. This one will be a quarterback, which also reminds me the Super Bowl is going to be in my deck of the woods next week. And I don't know if I mentioned this, our football team that's pretty much it's a good word for underachiever. The underachiever team that we have, basically our football team, you just go there to give yourself something to do. I don't go there, but some people do. But you don't expect them to win, like ever. So them going to the Super Bowl is it's like it's like a parallel Earth just showed up. I mean, our football team is such a joke. It's like, I hate to say it, but it's true. It's like they went to the Super Bowl before. That was a miracle. It's like why they exist is still a question. So, and now they're going to the Super Bowl. So it's funny. A colleague at work, as they would call it, it's funny. It's from Kansas City. So Kansas City and my area are going to go against each other. So that's humorous. So that was a waste of time talking about that. So I guess like 2 or 3 people will show up for the Super Bowl because it how wear their masks and sounds like a grand old time. So all right, enough of that. So Arcturian Earth prediction. Sorry. Um, yeah, if you lived here and saw our football team, would be humorous. The fans here of our football team will have no problem throwing this team under the bus, as they do a lot. It's funny. So, all right. Hopefully, I spelled Arcturian right. I think so. Arcturian Earth prediction, Spirit quarterbacks will go back to the Spirit connections, and then Central Earth channeling. We'll see where that goes. So, where are we going with all this? So yeah, feeling around summertime, the virus will be not gone, but we'll move on to other things. March might be a political shift. It's really hard to say where March is going to go. Some kind of political upheaval, or I don't know. March is when the year begins, right? So when it finally gets going, so it feels like politics, but it could be something else. We'll have to see. Is this Trump going to come in and win again or break through? I don't know. But there's going to be holes in the administration. We just have to wait and see. It feels like the virus is going to start dying down. At least the agenda. It's still going to be around, but it's still going to start trickling down as they move on to something else to manipulate society. Now, there'll be places where they're going to keep on with the virus. Definitely, especially like the UK, they're going to milk that until they can. They're just going to keep milking it for a while. United States, some parts will break down, at least the manipulation that's going on. So we just have to wait and see. Yeah, the sideshow. So also I'm going to go into, I didn't put this in the title. So I'm going to go into a little bit to the lower astral, how it's influencing our reality. Give you kind of my 2 cents. I'm slowly going into it through my own family, so I figure out. Yeah, it's kind of a touchy subject, so should be I don't want to put in the title though. I might in the future. I might talk about it again. As I've been told, I come in private sessions. Scheduler. We're on a channel. We have 2 sections here. The shop. I'm on. I think I've passed the 11th now. Now I'm on the 13th. I'm on the 16th for a lot of people now, which is good. But that's still pretty bad. I'm still pretty behind. I should be on the 21st, or anyway, I'm on the 16th. Same situation here. Sign up for the webinar. Social network they don't get kicked off of. The rabbit. And behind the scenes. Okay, so some people come here for get the lowdown of things that you don't hear about other places. Of course, you probably heard this from other places or have your own assessment. Now, this is not like a judgmental thing or anything like that. It's more like a metaphysical connection or a spiritual connection, however you want it. Same thing, but either way. So lower astral, so like the demonic realms, just lower parasitic, archon, whatever you want to call them. Now, they do incarnate here as humans. Some of them do. And they make their own lives here. Usually there are those that are not easy to get along with. And they infiltrate families. They have children here. They incarnate as humans and they have children here. And usually they're the dark one of the family normally. Doesn't mean they're doing drugs. They don't always do drugs. Some of them can just be horrible. It's like a monster. But they can be the healthiest person in the family, but their energy is completely toxic. So just give me a different point of view of that, because as you scan the energies, this is nothing new, but scan the energies of the ancient earth, you feel like demonic beings reincarnating as humans. I believe a lot of our problems of the past are obviously contributed to them. I just don't mention it very often. It's pretty of an obvious energy. They don't like to be, called out on. Obviously, they're going to deny it, so they're positive, but then they hunker on to religion. Normally, it's religion is their backbone, depending on the being, but religion is there to keep them safe. As you see how religion is, depending on what religion it is, like Christianity, or Catholic, is not always the most positive. So the darker beings obviously use that as cover. So it's like, I'm not dark. I go to church all the time. The problem is you get around that person, they're freaking, he's super toxic. I have that in my family. I've had it for a long time. I haven't really dived that into it. I'm just kind of staying out of it. But it's kind of come up recently. So I've been kind of looking at it. When I'm not getting attacked, I can see it more clearly. Yeah, it's been an energy that I've actually had trouble tapping into with one of my family members because it's like toxic, completely toxic. So, and hiding behind the religious veil. So obviously you're not seeing the past very clearly because it's blocked. The Earth's past, but obviously the demonic realms are doing that on purpose. Now you can say also like Atlantean beings during their death, a lot of them became dark entities, and you become God as a dark entity. I guess you could say some of the Illuminati energies are dark entities also, where they reign in hell or wherever they're reigning in. And controlling our reality from, hell itself or whatever you want to call it. I mean, when you tap into that vibration, it definitely makes a lot of sense. If it's not to say every being that's like horrible is a demonic being, but there is a demonic influence. Is the way. I mean, this is all pretty obvious, subject matter, but truly, when you look at it, it's like how many demonic beings really reincarnated here? A lot. So a lot of them are connected to religion to continue it in its low vibrational ways. So how do you heal something like that is a little bit more complicated. Well, the more you know about it, the more it releases, the more you, dive into it, think about it. Something will come of it. It's just like our election situation. Darkness goes in there, eventually light will come out. So, the light will surface these things. So, figure out, put it out there, and see where it goes. So you all go through what we go through for a reason. Obviously, many out there have had parents that are just horrible, but then become better, which is good. But that's not always the case. Not all parents do that, or family members. Some are just completely just demonic. All depends. A lot of times it's an influence. It's different things. It's not just like a demonic being reincarnated. Just an influence from demonic energy. So it's complicated, but I believe that has to surface for anything to really change here. And it's not an easy subject matter. And obviously, they block it too from us to even see it, but it's not always meant to be seen. I believe now's the time, or going forward, it would make more sense. So everything will make more sense eventually. But so, all right. Going to the spirit being, I might go backwards and connect to the Arcturian. We'll see, or well, maybe I'll connect to the Arcturian actually. Yeah, I was going to do this a while back. So we'll do Arcturian energy connection, and then we'll go into spirit quarterback and go on from there. All right. Some blessings. Here we go. Blessings to you. Greetings to you, the Arcturians. Blessings. Yes, there is a great reptilian influence on the earth. And yet, yes, they govern a lot of the lower vibrations that are here, meaning they can control them. And they can bring influence, like they build your infrastructure of low vibrations through the reptilian energy. Now, why they can do that? Well, they're master manipulators on different. It's just how they're created. But that's not all beings, but a lot of, well, reptilians themselves have like a rough exterior. So they're just the way they're designed. Let's put it that way. Well, it's not just them, there are other beings. But as the lower vibrations of the earth were open, the reptilians knew what to do with it. You can say it's also Anunnaki connected. So yes, as you unlock your planet, it's not going to be an easy unlocking, as you will see things that your mind will not believe. Now, obviously, that's already happening in reality, but where the lower forces are going to have to be seen here eventually for it to be healed. Now, we'll just leave that up to you, what you want to discover on your own. But realize these shadow beings have to be seen eventually in some form or another. Now, it's seen through humans, like with the Catholic Church and the demonic energy that's going on with that, with children, those other areas to go into. As yes, even your social media, as humorous as they say, harmful content. It's funny how a lot of them are covering a lot of that up themselves, unfortunately. I believe that will come to an end also. As they have a consciousness. They have a conscience. It's like maybe covering up everything is not a good idea. As for your politics, vibrations, yes. There is a, look at it as a soul growth situation. And look at yourself, what matters most. Where do you want your energy? Yes, you want to be controlled by a narrative, or you want to be free. Many are angry of the results, but do you want to be controlled by your anger? That if someone else is making you mad, if you go back to yourself and just ignore the politics, not worry about it, it's not that important, and connect more to you, because politics is created to manipulate the soul. Now, there's positives to it, of course, but when it gets to a toxic vibration, it's best to move on from it. Now, when you see a positive energy coming from it, it's different. But when you see just it's controlling you mentally and physically, it's best to just focus on yourself. Of course, you can still look at these things. There's nothing wrong with that. But realize look where you're putting your energy field into. So, and yes, it's quite a fascinating back and forth with society. But back to your lower realms, much of it, at least from our point of view, is not to say that it's the reptilians that are all majorly dark. No, they just know how to manage it better. They know how to use it. Just like you know how to use people, energy, they just know how to use the vibrations of it. Where other beings get consumed by, reptilians know how to manipulate it. It's just many of them are third dimensional enough to handle it. They're wise beings. Now, humans are learning how they're doing it. And as you unlock how you can put your intentions out. How are they controlling society? Now, will you believe it is a whole nother story. But they can give you the answer or part of the answer or all of the answer. It all depends on what you can handle. And yes, it's going to be a doozy for many. Now, do these demonic beings need to be actually seen physically? For some people, yes. Some people need to see them to release them from the earth. You're releasing them from the manipulation of society, as there's many of them here. Yes, they do work through people, as there's an art to, yes, manipulating the human for these beings to even operate here at all. Through families, of course, they're going to inject into the family because that's what they want to control the family. The family dynamic, we find many, as humanity goes into a cleansing vibration, you have wars in other countries, but we believe the war of the family become more a part of society, meaning to look at it, to heal it. It is a rough exterior. Now, that's been going on for some time, of different layers of it, but there's layers there that some might not be willing to see. The spiritual side, where there are beings that are controlling other darker beings that are controlling humans. Now, this has been mentioned. This is nothing new, but when it becomes part of society, as society eventually, once again, now look at the fear. There's a great amount of fear of lower dimensional beings controlling society, much of society, because their religious beliefs are going to be terrified of all. Once you become more balanced, it's not a problem, but there's just a lot of healing that has to be done here. As nothing new there, but it's so deep here. Now, how this occurred? A lot of it happened during the time of Atlantis. It happened before, but it was mostly the time of Atlantis. A lot of the Atlantean beings became demonic beings. And they have never experienced anything like that before. And many of them are trapped here. Now, there's more positive vibrations in your Agartha, and that will be unwatched. A lot of the wizard vibrations, of course, wizard beings know how to control society and so on. So this is, yes, the next phase of your existence. Eventually. Now, this is something battling for thousands of years, of course. But we believe more of it become more of an understanding in due time. Once again, the fear of it, as many tap into the spiritual vibrations, the lower dimensions are not quite understood. Well, we believe you're coming to a phase where you understand it better to release it from your earth. So, blessings to you. Greetings to you. I am Dennis from Spirit, the spiritual quarterback. Your essential sun. Well, there is a sun within your earth. It's in a different vibration, but it's basically what gives your earth energy to exist. It's a consciousness. Us spirit beings work through many different realities. But this one we're here to heal its heart. To heal the heart of the planet. And many are going through this phase currently. Facing themselves. it doesn't mean this has been going on for some time, but the true face of humanity, the vehicle of seeing many things that are unseen here. Well, there are worlds where the species is like creature like, and it's like the more creature you're looking, the less of a manipulation on the planet. Like a reptilian being, for example, or even a feline being. A lot of them are, yes, look animal like, kind of creatures. I mean, technically humans are creatures, but it's like the more that you are, when you become more human, you become more, you go deeper into the unknown, meaning that it's easier to hide things. Much in your case, many things have been shut off more than anything. And that was the idea, because you can have a human that's very, like a reptilian being, just very psychically aware. And technically you are, but once again, a lot of that was shut off. And or you can be a human race that's very like a canine race, or a feline race where you're very spiritually inclined. We just see what's happening. For your world, as you know, you're not just deactivated. Humans were shut down. I mean, you can deactivate the chakras. There's many chakras, but the humans can truly like you're alive, but not completely alive. I mean, you're functioning. You can do things, but at a controlled level. As you know, your job situations, your work situations, your money situations, there's always something controlling. It's like you're on this belt, this manufacturing. You're always is a kind of even when you have a profession, doing the same profession over and over and over again, you're in this type of loop. So we feel like this year, many of you are going to heal that vibration and steer yourselves away from that control energy on your planet. As isn't going to be for everyone. But those of you that wish to control it to end, that doesn't mean the control is going to completely close off, because it needs you to exist. Another reason why some of you stay shut down and disconnected as you are is because you're actually helping the human collective. Some of you just disconnect altogether. You can't function the same way. It needs its fear. It needs its low vibrations. It needs it to function. It's very strange, but it needs these things. Yes, gradually you're removing it, but many are not ready to remove it completely. They need the news. They need the politics to keep that world going that they created. For many of you are tapping into spirit guides, aliens. You're not even on the world anymore. I mean, you're here, but you're not. You're a citizen of the planet, but you don't really see yourself that way anymore. You see yourself as off planet. I mean, if you're talking about aliens and other beings, in this third dimension, there's no real aliens walking around saying hi to people. But in your reality, and that you're tapping into, alien beings are everywhere. So many of you can say kind of tapped out or checked out in some ways, but you know this world still needs you. So but you're bringing that vibration here like a hurricane. Some of you are sending so much to the earth you get tired and wear yourselves out. I think you know who you are. It's like, I wouldn't just get off this planet so much. Here's all this love, earth. More than you can handle. And earth is like, you're right, we can't handle it. We have too much for trying to heal within ourselves that we're not about to do just yet. So what we're getting at is maybe you're bringing alien timelines where technologies will advance themselves in a way I've not seen it before, at least in your vision, some of you. So, because how do you talk to this reality? How do you talk to this earth? Remember, maybe you bring your own aliens with yourself, and you tap into the human consciousness. Obviously, I'd like to bring them in physically, but human consciousness kind of keeps them out. Wonder why the third eye does not work very well. Or some of you aren't seeing it. It's the human consciousness that's closing it out. It's not necessarily you. It's like Human consciousness brings its own weather system, its own storm to keep you unaware. Because it's not ready, it has fear, it wants to go to work, go to school, it wants to do the same thing over and over again, and you come in and take them out of it. Well, not necessarily, obviously not, but your batteries of new realities coming in. You're like this force. Yeah, we say a battery because your energy is so much different than the Earth's vibration. So as you tap more into your alien energies, these different multiple realities, the Earth feels it, jolts it. Yes, weather patterns do occur. And it's like, oh, it rained today. I think I did that. For example, I don't believe any of you are trying to do an earthquake, but the Earth can get kind of aggravated. Well, due to human consciousness energy. Human consciousness is not necessarily in a zombie state, but it can seem that way because it's part of, we don't really want to know what's going on with the world. Well, what we're told is all we care about, but it's in a hypnotic vibration, as many of you know. Kind of like an abyss. It's kind of like it's underwater, you can say, millions of feet underwater. It's kind of like it's in a dense reality, and some of you see past that. So you can come to the surface and you're just seeing things differently. So the matrix vibration, I feel like many of you are going to continue to unlock it with the Earth. And every once in a while, you might meet somebody that has seen something new, woken up from it. And that's already been occurring, but I feel like those numbers are going to start increasing throughout this year. It's just that humans are under the hypnotic trance is not as powerful as it used to be. It means also your matrix will break, meaning like your wars. Like elites wouldn't try to wars, but if the war does not work anymore, they're trying. But many of you brought in this new reality where the war is just not working. You bring in this reality where humans face more of themselves and their family units, which it has been going on for some time. It's just you can go deeper and deeper and deeper, and unpossessed demonic energies within the family that's usually not mentioned. Or a demonic, yes, a family member that's easily compromised. But that's the story of your Earth. It might not be the most interesting movie while you're living it, but when you look inside of its spiritual self, it is quite fascinating. Living on the outside, in third dimensional form, yes, it's dull and boring, but on a spiritual level, it's insane. The whole thing has lost its mind of how can a demonic energy even get a family member to even be compromised the way that they found a way of doing so is beyond even the aliens themselves. So why you humans are here to heal that vibration, to stop it from connecting to others. You'd be surprised. You incarnate in that family to stop the infestation. Because if you weren't there and just had why spiritual people are in the families that are difficult or horrible is to heal that energy field that's wants to take over others that are unaware. So it shows spiritual advancement. It's just like it's kind of like sacrificing yourself. It almost feels like a suicide mission. It definitely feels that way. But it's at a different level that now this has been going on for thousands of years. But we feel like now is the time for more to be recognized for why you are in the family that you are and how the family can fix itself. Not completely, obviously, flaws are always looked upon as a positive thing, but demonic blockages, demonic beings have been coming here for such a long time. Know their expiration date is coming. And we feel like they're easier to tap into, even the aliens. Because aliens are here, but these beings are blocking it. The reptilian beings, yes, have advanced themselves greatly. There's more than just reptilians. The Archon beings that are part of this too. It's the architecture of your reality. Make everybody go insane. Isn't it working out pretty well? Your virus that may not always be bad in some. We're not going to go there, but a lot of it's manufactured. Your tech companies that are now going against the people, a lot of them realize their relevance are going to come to an end. So it's like we're already sold out. Let's sell out some more. Some of them have no choice. Some of the tech companies have no choice to censor people. It's like they have elitist people there that just don't care. They just don't. They're God. They don't care. They're part of these tech company. I mean, yes, the AI, the tech company has evolved, yes, but there are human elitists that just they don't care if they put a bad president. They don't care about anything. They don't care about themselves. They put their mark on the earth. If it destroys them, fine. They still believe as long as they whatever their decision, if they're all in on a decision, if it ruins them, it ruins them. But as long as they own it, they don't care. And they also look. They're actually look. There are some of your elitists are looking on the positive side from darker elitists. Of yeah, it might have been a mistake, but you wish you owned your mistake, whatever it might be. So as a spirit energy field on your planet, a quarterback, being your central sun is basically your Akashic record. Your knowledge is coming more into your earth. It might not be coming as fast as some of you'd like a doorway into heaven or something like that. That would be nice. But we feel like many of you get knowledge of why you are here a little bit more clearly. It might not be clear, but you see the energies of the earth. It's like, I'm not sure why I'm here, but it's probably good that I am here. So especially to have friends or family, if you brought an impression to them in a positive way, especially if you have kids, you're protecting your children during all this because they're probably would have incarnated here with you or without you. So yeah, you're weathering the storm of the earth. Yes, the earth is going to, it is slowly unlocking it, showing its true self. And it's going to be a rough one. Doesn't mean cataclysms, but the beings that are here that have been hidden for thousands of years. Doesn't mean it's going to be a pharaoh walking around as a mummy. That would be humorous to some of us, at least. Maybe not everyone. But the beings have been causing difficulties here. Doesn't mean they're going to have a quick reveal. Some of you will just tap into it. You'll just know. The doorway shut of the darkness cannot stay shut forever. So many of you will just, as a download, you'll know more if you're ready for it. If you're ready for it, if not, that's fine. Most of your population is going to look the other way. Some of these things are just, why some of you are connecting to things that are just like hellish is because you can handle it. You might not think that way, or why me? There's probably a lot of that, but I believe many of you passed that part, why this is happening, and it's like, what do I do with this? So if you had like vampire beings flying around and you were chiseling them out of your reality, things would make a little bit more sense. That's not exactly the reality you're living in, but it is somewhat similar to that, but not without the how they get rid of them is not the same though. You are in a mythical world, but you don't see it. You're entertained by it, but you don't see it. Flying, yes, lion people, alien, and many of you know the aliens are here. And there's much more, of course. Yeah, the Arcturian beings are here. They're all here. The angels are here. You're already living in a world of mythology that's unseen. So what we're getting at is many of these beings that need to be seen will start being unlocking from your earth. Now, I can't say that aliens are going to park themselves just yet. There's beings here that need to be exposed first for any type of alien to show up, meaning that these beings that are causing manipulation on their planet have to be seen for you to find a more of a utopia reality. Some of these are Archon beings. So I feel like some of you will receive downloads, visions, or as for these beings being seen in the public, not just yet. I feel like they have to be spoken about first before they can actually be seen. So there are also, gargoyle beings that are here also, of course. Not all of them are bad, though. So a lot of them are here to show you Some gargoyle beings take like a kind of scary look to show you who's here. It's like dress up. It's like the dark beings won't show themselves, but we can do it for them to let you know who's here. Because the dark beings don't want any presence of. They don't want you to have no idea they exist until it's too late. So say you call that gargoyles as a disclosure of the lower realms. Now some of the gargoyles aren't very positive, but a lot of them are. They want they take the faces of the beings that are causing difficulties here, and they're on your cathedrals showing you who's running your cathedrals. It's time to heal or astral. As yes, it's had its play, it's had its fun. I'm not sure if many of you have had fun here, but they have enjoyed themselves. Well, they're growing also. That's the other thing about the lower dimensions. If you respect them, obviously, if you don't want them around, you want to send the light to them because you don't want to connect to darkness. Understood there. But if you understand their existence, like you don't see, I mean, they might be monster-like, but you don't see them. You see them as a being themselves. They're less likely to attack you. But if you're scared of them and calling them names, well, they're up for a fight. So they want to take over your energies and so on. But obviously, there's nothing really to worry about overall. But to really make peace with these beings is to understand them, hear them out. Doesn't mean you have to channel them or anything, but doesn't mean you have to connect to them at all. That's not for everybody. But some of you want to heal the earth, and you'll feel these beings around. You go by what you feel is best for you. Yeah, if you don't feel comfortable with it, do not connect to them. But I believe many of you are at a point where I was like, I'm not scared of these beings. They're just like having a family member, a neighbor that's just lost their minds. Think they know everything. They're better than you. There's a lot of that going on. That's them. When you just hear them out, they feel better. They feel that they don't have to hide themselves anymore. And then they make themselves appear. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of soul growth on the human side, the lower astral side. The lower astral is losing its power. It's not as strong as it used to be. That's because many of you are healing those energies. And those of you are spiritually, we'll call it advanced or mature. These lower beings, some of you have been talking to them for a long time. Some of you might feel like you're dark. Maybe I'm dark, not necessarily. It's just that you're having conversations with beings all the time that you're just not aware. You made peace with them. Doesn't mean that you're dark. It just means that you're around them a lot because you want to heal the earth. So you are in a healing process. So as a healer, there's different forms of looking at it. So many healers here are just made peace with the darkness and just want to heal it, but kind of have to face it to heal it, at least on a spiritual level. So this is mostly a message for your healers. There's many healers. Some people are healers. If you're not afraid of these beings, you're a healer, basically. If you're afraid, you're that's not your thing. But for those of you that are in a healing process or a healer in a healing process, it's time to see a great deal more for them to be released from the earth. When you get released to the earth, a lot of them go into the higher astral realms because they want to be seen. They want to let go of all these things. So I'm not ready for it, but some of you are actually calling them family. Just because. So, well, because it's when you see let's put it this way, why some human beings would call a darker being family is because, first off, you made peace with light and dark. You don't see it that way anymore. You see it as an entity that's lost its way. And yes, they might be vicious, horrible, horrible beings. A monster, yes, some of them are. But it's like you see where it's like a lot of them are hurt souls. And they don't know how to heal themselves. And that's where you come in. Once again, this isn't for everyone, but it's, some of you come to a point where you're ready to heal the earth altogether. So, Yeah, some of you have demonic beings in your dreams. See, you made those are your family members that are here to heal. Yes, healing these beings isn't easy. It's not supposed to be. But that's when your earth becomes lighter, when you understand them. They're not mentioned for various reasons. It's not always time to release them. They have timelines on the earth too. So when you heal their vibrations, you'll see a different planet. I believe many of you get visions of a more positive earth. It takes time. It's not something you heal overnight, but as you more understand these beings, you don't have to concentrate on to think about it. We just send your light to the earth and go about your day. But some of you are going to dive deeper, as we know, not to get possessed, but to heal the earth's vibration. So there's a great deal here that's causing a lot of problems. And they're ready to leave from what we see. So if you say your Illuminati is losing, ready to go, they've already lost. Yes, a lot of them are demonic beings. Yes. They understand your world. They figured it out. This is why you have not run into them, see them on the street, because they're in a different dimension. Yes. So why they get away with it, they can't, because they shut off your spirit world, your positive spirit world. They make it so difficult for you to see it. They fogged it up. They did everything they could to shut it down. But this is you opening it back up. For the most part, many of you just go about your day. You send healing to the earth. Now you know what's here. You have more understanding of it. And this is your new earth. Blessings.